Have Chelsea been lying to their fans? First question, have Chelsea Football Club been lying to their fans? Plus, when it comes to lies, the stuff I'm seeing about Arsenal at the moment is driving me insane. If it wasn't so frequent, if it wasn't so regular, if it wasn't so blatant, it could be some fun banter for us as rivals, but it's being done to death. We're going to talk about them both on this show. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share it in your social media groups. Hit the like button, hit the hype button. Can't wait to read your comments as well. We're going to come back to the Arsenal stuff in a minute. I'm going to play you a clip here from Louis. I did a bit of work with Louis back in the day. Not someone who's renowned, as far as I'm concerned anyway, for being, hyperbolic, over the top, exaggerating things. But he said something here that I couldn't get out of my mind all day. I've been looking at the Chelsea fans online, a lot of big accounts, a lot of big content creators, a lot of big fans talking about the project as a joke. We've been hoodwinked. It isn't good enough. The owners aren't really trying to win. Someone said, I think on Chelsea Fan TV, I want to make sure I get the wording right as I remember it, it's basically a pyramid scheme. Take a listen to this from Lou. I want to get your thoughts.
I mean, but this is why they don't want an elite manager. They don't want someone who's going to turn around and go, actually,
they don't want an elite manager.
Well, because an elite manager wouldn't be having any of that, would they?
Exactly.
You imagine someone like Carlo Ancelotti, obviously previously managed there, just going, what you want? No, I'm off. I'm off for a beer and a pizza, lad. See you later.
No, I take that.
Not having any of that.
They don't want an elite manager. You can't mean that.
No, I do mean that. Chelsea, they don't want someone who's going to answer back. They never have.
They want a yes man.
They want a yes man. And as soon as Enzo Maresca's turned around and gone this year, well, actually, I'm not happy with this guy, but we gave you an opportunity when you came from Leicester. We did all of this for you. We're amazing. It's like, no, you're not amazing. You've done a great job. But soon, when the good stuff's happening, they'll love to talk about it. When the bad stuff happens, they put it on the manager. They put it on somebody else.
Well, and Maresca's also growing in confidence in his role as a Premier League manager. Because you have to remember, it's only his second season as a Premier League manager.
It was interesting. I want to get your take on it first of all. Chelsea don't want an elite manager. Do you agree with that? Well, I'm someone that watched Chelsea at the back end of last season look brilliant. I felt they had an amazing summer. I liked a number of the signings they were making, although not enough experience was purchased. And I said on my show on the Football Terrace earlier that there's a word in my mind that I couldn't remember. And someone wrote it a lot of people wrote in the comments, prerequisite. When someone like myself says Chelsea need to buy more experience, the prerequisite within that, what's a given, what's expected, what should not need to be explained. For instance, if I give you a job, it doesn't need to be written down anywhere that you must give 100% every day. That's a prerequisite, a given, shouldn't need to be discussed. But I feel we live in a generation where where you need to explain these things. Chelsea need more experience, but the prerequisite within that is that experience has got to be of a higher quality than the majority of players have already got because they still don't have a deep enough squad. But do you think if Maresca left tomorrow, Louis right? Do you think if he was to leave tomorrow, do you think they would go and try and get one of the best managers in the world? A Chelsea team who I think are not far away from being able to compete, a few more experienced and high quality players. Maybe a more experienced manager that wouldn't make as many mistakes. Would they do that? Or would it be the yes man approach? Just want to get I haven't made my mind up on this yet. I love some of the things that Clear Lake have done. I felt that the structure on the Roman had to be reformed. The idea of, we're just going to outspend everybody was a dying art because of FFP and PSR. Because it was multiple wealthy clubs with actually richer owners than him. And he wasn't yes, United competed financially with Chelsea, but if you actually go back to the first 10 years of Roman, they were spending money at a level that nobody else in England could. And even when FFP started, because they've self-reported, they were doing a lot of it off the books, right? So it was unsustainable what it was doing, and it was no longer working to the same degree. And you always get a pushback on this, which is, Terry, you're an idiot. They won the Champions League a year or so before Roman was forced to sell. Yes, but they also were challenging for league titles less and less and less. Look at the first decade of Roman versus the second decade. The amount of title races they were in, the amount of Premier Leagues they won, the amount of trophies they won didn't just drop. You could see it getting less and less and less as each year went on. Reform was needed. If you don't believe that, it just means you don't understand football. Not that I know more than you, because I'm smarter than you. Just research it and you'll get an epiphany, trust me. But it needed reform. And I think buying some of the best young players in the world, I think the money they've spent, the ideas about expanding stadiums, all of this is a brilliant idea. How they've got through some of the loopholes when spending too much, having some financial issues. I'm not even against that. I'm not someone who hates on that kind of thing. But I feel like they're at a point now where they've got a top 4 squad, a squad that can win trophies, a squad that can win cups, but go to the next level now. I get that in the rebuild process by players that will adapt to us, listen to us. We maybe don't need the big superstars right now as we're not in that point. But I think you're there now. Manager-wise as well, I think Maresca's good. He's not infallible, but I also think sometimes he's made the scapegoat when things go wrong. But are Chelsea fans being lied to? And what I mean by that is based on what Louis said. Based on what a lot of other Chelsea fans have said. It's a Fugazi project. It's just about making money in the long term. The owners don't really care about winning the major trophies. If they pick one up, great, but they don't care. They want yes men as managers. Do you believe that? Can't wait to read your opinions on it in that comment section below. Please give us your thoughts. Give us your opinions on that, because for me, it's a real interesting one.
And I get it. You want to back your team and you get cocky about your team, whatever. But we were talking about Arsenal running away with the league in October, November. Like, last time I checked, leagues are not won in October, November.
But you're the one who was saying it was done, so don't...
But you were panicking now.
You were the one who was saying it was.
I panicked, and I'm annoyed at myself. I'm annoyed at myself. I've let myself down. I've let my own fan base down at Tottenham. I should never have said that. I've let TalkSport goals down. I should never have done it, but you got a good clip out of it, so fine. I'm never ever...
50 good clips out.
I know. I'm not... I'm like...
Are you going to apologise to all these people?
I'm disappointed with myself that I thought that Arsenal were going to win the league in November. Like, why did I remotely think that would be the case?
I love that this clip's come out. Somebody sent it to me and said, what's your thoughts on this? I'd love to get your reaction. Now, I don't know Abby particularly well. I met her on a few occasions, spoke on a few occasions. I love the fact, though, that she's admitting she was wrong here. But there is a big but. I'm now seeing, it started with, listen, let me just first of all say this about, there are some Arsenal fans, the TPFs. I coined that phrase many years ago, and maybe somebody did it before me, but I know I coined the phrase in our little social media world of the toxic positivity fans. Now, you're not a TPF if you're positive about Arsenal. You're a TPF if you're positive about Arsenal, but you're nasty to anybody that criticizes any facet of the club at any moment. If you're a nasty person that can't have a logical conversation, you're a TPF. I don't know. I never coined a phrase for the other side, but you get a lot of those Arteta out guys as well. They're, again, exceedingly negative. If you're positive about any aspect of Arsenal, I think both groups of those people are horrible. So some of those TPFs most certainly were doing the whole, the league's going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be easy. We're going to walk this. It's going to be simple. And everybody, most Arsenal fans I know, most neutrals I know, most rivals I know, most sensible people I know said, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Just don't be stupid. No one's winning the league in October. But the biggest group of people that I saw pushing that message, the biggest group was people like Abby, people on the mainstream media, lots of rivals. Most of the Arteta outers should win the league from here, should be done, should be over, shouldn't be caught. And people like myself, it was like, I need a pipe, really. We knew what was happening. It's one of the reasons that content creation, listen, there are some amazing podcasts out there that are going from strength to strength. That's because they stream once or twice a week. They're closed shop. Nobody else comes on. But what I'm noticing now, people are getting really bored. I get the feedback from my members. I get the feedback from people all the time on the Football Terrace, which is, Terry, can you stop having these people on? And it isn't because they can't handle challenge or difference of opinions. It's every day is an agenda as opposed to an honest footballing conversation, and we don't like it. And I agree with them. I don't like it anymore. It's become so boring. So what we saw earlier on in the season, barring a handful of crazy TPFs It's over. It's over. Arsenal must. It's done. It's finished. They should walk it. They shouldn't know this. The other bottles. And we're all sitting there going, but we know what you're doing. You're planting a seed now so that if they don't win it, you can absolutely scorch earth. The problem is that you've realised, like in this circumstance, well, hang on, we've got to speak about City being in the title race because they've been brilliant. Cherki's killing it. Haaland's amazing. Pep's there. You've got this dark horse in Aston Villa that have gone from strength to strength. The win against Chelsea yesterday, I don't think people understand. It's their first win. Sorry, their first win away from home against one of the real top sides in the league this year, alongside an amazing winning run that's a record of 111 years broken. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Fair play to them. But you can't have a conversation about this because you've already declared the champions. So you've put yourself between a rock and a hard place. So now there's all this backtracking going on. So, what do I say and do? Because if I backtrack, then I can't call Arsenal bottle jobs because I was stupid to say that they'd won the league already. But I can't now have an honest conversation about the league, which we all really want is just honest conversations. Which is how I want it, right? I want honest footballing conversations with a side order of banter. What I don't want is a bit like having your dessert first. Imagine your dessert comes out first and you eat it. The rest of your food isn't going to be as nice. You're going to feel bloated, full of the sugar. You don't start that way around. Trust me, do it in a restaurant and see how nice your starter is. See how nice your main course is if you sit there and eat some hot, sticky toffee pudding, custard, a bit of ice cream, and have a milkshake. Do that first and then see how good the meal is. It doesn't work that way around. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't work very well. And for me, that's what I find out there now is finding in the social media world. And again, this isn't gatekeeping. Do what you want. I'm just criticizing it. I'm just saying that it's good to see this backtracking happening. By the way, let me just say this now, because I know some of you, if you've read the comments that are about to have said what I'm about to say, make sure you reply to them and give them the timestamp because they won't have waited this long. I'm not saying Arsenal have an excuse not to win the league. If Arsenal don't win the league, there should be heavy criticism. Arteta's job should be on the line because they should be expected to win it. But City should be expected to win it and Liverpool should be expected to win it. Villa, I think they are a dark horse. I think they're a genuine underdog. So therefore, if they're in the race and fall away, last game to go, 5 games to go, 10 games to go, fair play to them. But all those early season Arsenal lies are now kind of being retracted so that the mainstream media, so that the TV companies can actually have some really good conversations now, some really good debate. And I'm enjoying that. But it's so funny watching them have to backtrack. And when it comes to the lies, all these silly little things that I'm saying, I saw this post from a massive Man City account who calls Saka a fraud. And, if you notice, it's always Saka. It's always Saka that kind of gets attacked and people go after and rip into. But it says Saka's a fraud. And obviously it shows Cherki this season versus Saka. And it shows 3 goals to Cherki, 7 assists, and 4 goals and 1 assist for Bukayo Saka. And statistically, Cherki has had a better season in totality and per 90 minutes. Cherki has been amazing. Cherki is getting the plaudits, and we all know how good he is. But the problem is, and I stand on this, and I started having this train of thought in the footballing world when it came to Paul Scholes. Because what a lot of people do with Paul Scholes is they don't have fair debates when they're comparing him to other players and, those kind of conversations. They do this thing where they lie about Paul Scholes. They manipulate facts about Paul Scholes to try and win the debates. And that's what's been happening here. Because Bukayo Saka has 1 more assist. This has been doctored. And Cherki has 1 less goal. Now, it's minimal. It's minimal. But this is what I mean. You can't even criticize Bukayo Saka honestly. You have to lie about the levels that somebody else has achieved and reduce his numbers. Now, it's only marginal, but why have you got to do it? Why have you got to lie when having the debate? And equally, Bukayo Saka's not had a bad season. I think Cherki's been amazing. I think he's been the signing of the year. I'm taking nothing away from him. But the idea that Saka has been bad is crazy. And it's funny because I'm an outputs person. And over the course of somebody's career, I will look at their outputs and go, did they, as an attacker especially, did you score enough? Did you assist enough? Did you impact enough games? But again, I'm not just about the stats, because if you watch Bukayo Saka in a number of games this year, the man has absolutely tore it up, absolutely ripped teams to shreds, been brilliant. And equally, if his teammates would have finished off some of the chances he created, have more assists, right? So it's not a flawed stat assist. It shows you something, but chances created is very, very high, and vice versa. But I always find it funny how Bukayo Saka, if you've got to lie about Saka, if you've got to lie about Arsenal, what message do you think that really sends? I'll tell you what it sends. It's one I always get pushback on, but I know I'm right about. And I'm right about it because you're scared of them. You prove almost every day how scared you are of this Arsenal team achieving something. That you have to push your lies and show your frustration towards them. Push out fake narratives so you can slag them off later, that you then have to backtrack. Crazy times. As ever, people, look, hit the like button, subscribe, and share the channel as best you can. Until next time, take care. God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.